welcome to a very, very special edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where I am joined by another YouTuber today, none other than Chain Bear, famous for the Formula One videos. Firstly, Chain Bear, Stuart in real life, but Stuart, welcome to the channel, and thank you so much for agreeing to come and solve a Sudoku with me.
Hi, thanks for having me. We've chatted back and forth for a little while, since I believe I sent you a 3D video of a little ball bearing falling down a Sudoku one time.
Oh, well, I mean, and much more than that over the years, let me tell you, because you did our standard skyscraper
Yes.
rules, and I think you've done the Fistamafel ring, which has appeared on our TikTok and Instagram. And actually, I think it's racked up hundreds of thousands of views, unless I'm going crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it has. So, yeah, I mean, and I am a bit of a fan of Formula One, but I have watched lots of your videos as well over the time. So I learnt about racing lines, for example, and
Nice.
yeah, I don't have much cause to use it on the roads of Surrey. It's more pothole avoidance. But yeah, what I've always been struck by in your videos, which I think is a bit similar to sort of ours, is that you have a very nice way of articulating hard things in a way I can understand them. So, is that something you just can do, or is it something you've learned to do?
I was thinking about this actually. That is sort of where we sort of cross over. Is our aim, I think, to bring people in a way they can understand and feel confident about the maybe things that might seem very complicated and be able to break them down. And over the years, I've watched you hone in things like explaining the Fistamafel ring or certain secrets about certain lines and set theory and things. And yeah, that was always my aim with the channel. That's how it started. It started when Formula One brought in a new tire rule, and they never really explained it properly. And every single website just copied and pasted the sort of press release without going into any details. And I saw a lot of people struggling, and I couldn't find the information myself. So I did some research and made essentially it was just recording a PowerPoint video, an animated PowerPoint video to kind of explain it to everybody. And that blew up. And I mean, my background's a bit everywhere, but at the time I was working in education, in sort of maths education, and pedagogy kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I was always quite good at visual stuff, like explaining things visually. My channel's very visual. It's sort of it's quite simple and animated and things. So there's quite a lot of complicated things in Formula One, be they technical or rules or, physics or whatever. And I try and my aim is for everyone to feel hopefully so confident they could explain it to someone else if they watch the video and not feel gatekeeped from anything. And I think that's similar to how you try and bring people into puzzles.
Actually, that's true. Something we've always tried to do is make it so that even if you're a complete novice watching your first variant Sudoku, you could still at least watch and hopefully get something from the video. So we won't just jump in and go, okay, like on this puzzle, apparently it's about zipper lines. We wouldn't just go normal zipper line rules apply. We try and at least, at least be kind to new viewers. So, have you always been a Formula One buff?
I was into motorsport from quite a young age. I was sort of taken to things like rallies and banger racing and things. And I didn't get fully into Formula One hardcore until my mid-teens, which would have been late 90s. And from that point on, I've sort of been a nut from the middle of 1998. I think I've watched every race since then, almost all of them live.
Okay, so you'll get up in the night and
sometimes, yeah. And back then the season began in Australia and ended in Japan, so some of the most crucial races would be a 4 a.m. start. Right. As it will be this year, actually. In a couple of weeks' time, we'll be getting up at 4 o'clock for Australia.
And have you ever been in any of those garages, or even in a car or anything like that?
I've not been into Formula One, in the Formula One paddock, they are quite precious about who goes in there.
Oh, they should so get you in though, because I mean, you've got 500,000 followers on YouTube. I
To be fair, I have never asked, but
yeah.
but I have been in the Formula E paddock quite a few times, covering it there over the years, which is sort of slightly smaller scale, similar, but that's electric single seater racing.
Okay.
Which brings its own interesting perspectives and technology.
Oh, so those cars presumably accelerate at just ludicrous speeds, do they? Or do they have to damp them down a bit because they'd be too dangerous?
Oh, well, yeah, the acceleration is wild. They are less powerful than Formula One at the moment because obviously they're sort of at the edge of where technology allows them to be, and they can't run for as long. But they've been running for over 10 years now, and seeing where they've come from. When they first started, you had to use two cars. They had to stop in the middle of the race and jump out and jump into another car. But now they can do a full length race and even do a little bit of recharging in the pits, which is it's interesting. It's a whole different kind of world, that one.
Right. And can you give us some tips on who's going to do well? Is Lewis Hamilton going to go through a renaissance at Ferrari, or
possibly? I mean, I always love the kind of between seasons because that's where it's all questions. You're not really sure what's going to happen. It's a lot of speculation, which I quite like. It's like being between two books in a fantasy series where everyone just goes online and starts, what's going to happen in the next book? It's very much that. And I think, considering how the last season ended, with a lot of new up and comers starting to win races, teams that hadn't won in a while becoming championship contenders, there is sort of this question mark that we could have up to 7 people fighting for the championship. I don't think it's going to end up being that, but I think, Ferrari looking good. I think Lewis seems very happy there. I think he could possibly do well. I think the top 4 teams could all be winning races again this year. So it's very exciting.
And because, I mean, you're obviously an expert in Formula One. How is it? I've always wanted to know, like, who is basically the best driver, and obviously it gets blurred because they're all racing different machines, basically, and if you've got the best car, you just seem to win. But are you able to sort of shed any light on who you think might be, if they were all in the same machine, who would win? How would one go about trying to work that out?
I mean, that is the eternal sort of unanswered question and a little bit of dark art. There are elements to watching how some drivers overcome adversity. I think, for example, last year, Red Bull, which had been championship winners for a few years in a row now with Max Verstappen, actually struggled for maybe as long as 2/3 of the year. They, compared to like McLaren and Ferrari, they actually were struggling quite a bit. And you could see the disparity between the two drivers. Max Verstappen was still winning races, fighting for races, and ultimately won the championship by quite a long way. And his teammate, who is a good driver, and was there for good reasons, just really struggled. And Max Verstappen came first in the standings, and his teammate came 8th, I want to say.
Yeah.
So comparing to teammates is one thing. Sometimes if drivers move around, you can see that bit, but there is a little bit of a dark art, and you kind of have to watch them when they're under the most pressure to see who the best drivers are.
Yeah.
I always had this idea that instead of drivers being assigned to teams, you just rotated them every race. So they got to do all 20 cars over the season. You do 20 races, 20 drivers, and they swap a car every single race.
That would be good.
But I think sponsorship would have something to say about that.
Or use the Top Gear proxy, because they all drove the same car, didn't they? And when they did the lap in the rubbish car on Top Gear, and I think Lewis Hamilton was quite good at that. I've got a soft spot for Lewis Hamilton.
Same.
I've never met him or anything, but I've heard very nice stories about how he's behaved in private. So I always look out for him and hope he's going to do well. And another thing, Stuart, your channel, I've noticed there's not been many new videos for the last couple of years. Is that just a hiatus, or is it a permanent break, or
it's just a hiatus for now. I need a little bit of a break from it. Sometimes uh, I I don't want to like uh, jinx anything with you. Sometimes when you like end up doing the thing you love for a job, it kind of becomes a lot, and you just need to take a little bit of a break
Yeah.
and learn to love it again, and then come back. And but good luck for you. I'm
No.
sure. So yeah, I think that's
That
a
is a
really good
question
year.
I get a lot actually, because people say, "But hang on, don't you do a video every day? Haven't you done a video every day for many years?" It's like, yeah, but I think I'm very fortunate in that if I wasn't recording myself, I'd still be solving a lot of these puzzles anyway, because
Mm.
I just like the puzzles, so I'm sort of doubly lucky. Okay, so maybe there'll be more train bear videos in the.
That's the aim.
Oh, that
You
would be
just got to
great.
find your love again and get back to it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Um, well, should we have a go at doing some Sudoku solving?
Yes, I did email you saying I was a little bit worried because I'm not the most expert Sudoku solver, but I did practice at the weekend. I had a friend over and we did the I'll halve what she's halving one.
Ah,
And it didn't go too bad. I mean, this I've seen the rules for this one. It's sort of there's a similarness.
yeah.
We had to pause once and look at your video a little bit, and what we realized is we hadn't read one of the rules properly. So, and
Yeah,
that was what was holding us back. But otherwise, when we actually used all of the rules, it went okay. So fingers crossed.
fantastic. Right. Well, this is Mark has sent me this about an hour ago, and it's called Kissing Zipper. And well, the great thing about this is Twototenth, who I haven't. Twototenth is a brilliant constructor, and I don't think I've seen a Twototenth puzzle. I think it's maybe a bit like Chain Bear videos. There's been a real hiatus, so I'm
Ah,
absolutely delighted to see Twototenth constructing again. And one thing I love to do when we have guests on is to ask them to do the rules. So, Stuart, would you be kind enough? Can you see them? I'm not sure you. I
I
hope you
can see
can.
them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so normal Sudoku rules apply. So numbers 1 to 9 in every row, in every column, every 3 by 3 box. That's standard. We've got purple zipper lines this time. So in a zipper line, digits an equal distance from the center must sum to the digit in the middle of the line. So I don't know
So
if you want an example
yeah,
there.
let's look at that one. If that was an 8, those two squares would then sum to 8, and these two squares would also sum to 8. Other numbers are available for this cell.
And as well as that, the grid contains 9 doublers. So we'll have one doubler in each row, column, and box. And each digit from 1 to 9 is doubled exactly once. And that was the rule that we forgot to use in the halving one. Um,
And
double digits count as twice their value for the purposes of the zipper line. So if there is a 4 where your cursor is now, that would count as 8 for the
so
value they have to double to.
if that was doubled, it would be 8, and then there's one per box, isn't there? So those two would then have to be something like 1 and 7, or 2 and 6, or 3 and 5, and so would those two. And those are, there's no scrolling here, they are all of the rules. So do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video. But now we get to play. Let's get cracking. We get a given digit.
We do, aren't we lucky?
Yeah.
A 2. I'm not sure if that's going to be the way in. It's the way in that's always the.
Yeah, that's often the trouble, isn't it?
So what have we got?
Should I actually? What I could do is just for bookkeeping. I could put circles in the middles, so that we know.
That's good, and they are all odd, so we don't have to.
There we go.
Perfect. Okay.
Yes, they are
one
all
box
odd. You're right.
that is almost entirely filled with zippers, but I don't.
Yeah. So the only secret I think it is the only secret I know about zipper lines, is that 9. The problem is now my secret's blown out of the water by the prospect of doublers. Normally 9 can only go in the middle of a zipper. But here 9 could go sort of on the wings of a zipper. Like if this was 9, but that was 777.
Yeah.
Then then it would be fine.
That doubler also throws off some other little tricks. Like for example, the zipper you're on now, sometimes you might be limited in how many pairs of digits can add up to a certain thing, but then
yeah,
on the wings there, you might be limited if you couldn't have a doubler on any of them.
Yes, that is true. I mean, one thing I am seeing is sort of Sudoku-y, which I think might help, and that's to think about where this digit goes in this box.
That is a very good point, because obviously it can't go in the middle row of that box.
Yeah.
So either it's a doubler or there is a doubler somewhere on the wings.
Yeah, so imagine this was a 5, say. Then, because 5 would, if that's a 5, because 5 would have to be on the tuning fork, it would have to be opposite a 0 in order to add to 5, unless this was a doubler. I think that's the only way, but because this has to, the digit in this cell has to go on its own zipper and will be summed with, because either the sum is going to be those two, those two, or these two. So
yes,
I think if this wasn't doubled, actually, if the sort of point of the tuning fork wasn't doubled, it would break, because we then, let's say that was 5, this would have to be, it would have to be 0. We can't do anything else, and 0 is not allowed. So
that is a fair point. Yes, it can't go on the wings at all. That would make no sense.
So
okay, so first doubler, which
that's a terrible choice again. Sorry, I normally
enjoy your
red.
choice of colours.
Is that too terrible for words, or should I change the? Maybe I change the circles. Because
maybe the circles need to unclash.
Yeah, the circles. Let's use. Oh, oopsie. There.
That's
better,
works for me.
Isn't it? Yeah. There we go.
Now, are we gonna put in a not doubler color?
Oh, good. Yeah. Good point.
Would you normally use green? Hopefully that won't clash with the green that you've ordered for the circles.
Oh yeah, you're right. Hang on, let's do that. There? That's okay, isn't it?
That works fine.
I at least can, and I presume that I am the most colourblind person, so
if you can see it, I think
are we all good?
That seems fine. I think the green's dark enough.
Yeah.
Which means we've got a pure zipper in the second box.
Yeah. Yes. So I think this digit has to be relatively high. All I'm thinking,
because that could be
10.
Well.
Yes, that's right. So if these were
5,
10,
if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. 5, I think, has to be there, because effectively we're dividing whatever these are by 2 to get that digit.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
And also that one is a non-double. Yes. Middle. Which
this one is the same as this one, isn't it? It's just been tipped on its side, so that's got to be a doubler as well.
True.
So we can green all of those.
What this also means is in that, well, I suppose in both of them, those the tuning fork ones, we'll also have to have a doubler on one of its wings. Yes,
that is right. And
I don't know how high that forces the total to be.
Yeah, but I think you've hit on something there, because I think it feels to me like there's a black dot relationship then between. I'm just thinking if this was 7, for example, it just won't work, because then say that was 7, and this is 7, then this is worth 14, so I now need to put something worth 7 on this side of the tuning fork, and I can't do that because obviously there's nothing we can double to get to that number. So I feel like if that's 8, we could do 8 and 4, for example.
Yes.
And the 4 would be doubled.
So you're going to have 2 doublers that are in 1:2 ratio of each other.
Yeah.
On that zipper line.
Yes. So you're going to. I think the 2 points of the tuning fork have to be even.
So if it's 2, you're going to have a.
Yeah, you'd have 2 and 1.
With the 1 doubled.
Yeah, with the 1 doubled. If it's 4, it's going to be 4 and 2. It's like black crocky dots somewhere. There's a black crocky dot relationship where the lower digit gets doubled on one side of these tuning forks.
So does that mean between those 2 tuning forks you've swallowed up all of the even doublers?
Nearly, except 3 could be
doubled.
doubled.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Or 3, or
yes, that's right.
It depends. It's
actually no. Hang on.
Yeah.
So if the 8 is the doubler sum,
let's go with that. If 8's there,
you need a normal 8 and a doubled 4.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not going to work. Yeah, go on.
I'm normally I'm a writer downer, but I'm going to go through my. And if the 6 is a.
No, keep going with the 8. Keep going with the 8.
Okay. Okay.
Keep going with the 8. Let's think about these 2 now. What could they be?
Okay, so we're doing 6. Oh, that's really high.
That's really high, yeah. So I think
you can only. That's the only thing without doubles you could.
Perfect, yeah. So I just think 8 would break because the tuning fork's too long.
Yes, you're right.
So we could. So that one is not 8 either. This one looks like it's really constrained. So
yes.
4.
Okay, and if it's the 6, you have a 6 and a doubled 3, don't you? Yeah. So
6 and doubled 3. And then you're on 12 here, so 3, 9 wouldn't work, so 9 would have to be in the middle. And these would be sort of 5, 7 and 4, 8 in some order to get to the 12 without using doublers. And if that's...
There's something in that, isn't there?
Yeah, it's very constrained.
The number that it pushes off.
Yeah. If that's 4, then what we've got 4 and 2.
Which pushes off the 6. Essentially, you're pushing off a real integer that's the sum as if those weren't doubled.
Lovely, yeah. So what Stuart's saying there is because these have to sum to 8 and these have to sum to 8, but we can't use one of the sort of fundamental pairs. 2, 6 would no longer be available, so 6 has to go there. And
there's an elegant way of putting that somewhere. It's the counterpart to if. So whatever the sum is, the doubled sum has a counterpart doubler that's half it.
Yes.
And whatever integer would go with the non-doubled version of that gets pushed into the middle.
Yeah. No, that is right.
Okay. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah. But I think also there's a problem with 2 though, actually, because 2, 1 is fine, but this is 4, isn't it? So aren't we going to run into the problem that there's 1 tuning fork pair?
Yeah, that's right.
In fact,
it's the other end.
Yeah, no, it's even worse because we can't even use the 1 now. So we can't. There's no pair. There's no. Yeah, it doesn't.
Okay.
It definitely can't have 2. as a tuning fork tip.
So now we've got a 4-6 pair in the set of doublers.
Yeah, and that's so now. So 2 and 3 are doubled in these boxes. So on the 4 line 2 will be doubled. On the 6 line 3 will be doubled. So actually, should I put that up here? 2, 3, 4, 6 have been doubled somewhere.
Somewhere in the middle, sort of 3 blocks.
Yeah,
that's fine. I'm just wondering if do the 4 and the 6 zippers have a complete set that we know? Like if it was a 4,
that's a good idea.
Because we eliminate one of the.
Yeah, let's think about that. So if it's 4, we know that one pair is 4 2, one pair is 1 7, and one pair is 3 5. So the middle is going to be 6 8 9.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and if it was 6 in the middle. Oh, this. Yeah, okay. I can see it now. This 2 is important. If it's 6, we've got 12, which we know is 6 and 3 for 1. Now we can't use 3 9, so we've got to use 4 8 as one pair, 5 7 as a pair, and this
now you've got the 2
is 1 2 9. So if this was 6, this would be 1 2 9, and that would clash.
There we go.
Beautiful. So that's our. We're going to get our first digit. This is 6. This is 4.
And we can at least do
Yeah,
sort of the vague middle digits.
Yeah, 1 2 9, and was it 6 8 9 on the other one? Yeah.
Yes, but the 9's not in the middle because.
Oh, and 6 isn't either. Yeah, good.
Oh, that's just an 8.
Yeah, another digit, rocking and rolling.
We could take those out of there. Yeah.
6 8 9, 5 or 7. 5 would be huge because that would have to be 1 2 3 4.
Yeah.
Is there a reason that? Okay. Now nothing much is occurring to me. Okay, hang on. No. These have to add up to 8, and they can't use 1 or 2. That's 3 and 5.
Of course.
So
yes.
That's shame. That's a 7 then, which is less constrained. But that digit.
But it can't be 1 6.
No. You're right. That's great. So it's got to be 2 5 3 4.
There we go.
Very nice. And this digit, I think, is naked. It's
it can't
4.
be 3 5 or 2. Yes.
Which 4 and 3 is 7. Knowledge bomb from Chain Bear and Cracking the Cryptic.
Hooray!
And
so we got limited digits left in the second box. I don't know if that will help us with the other thing coming out of it. Maybe.
Oh, this thing, yes. Yes,
I feel like 8 and 9 would be very constraining if you had just 8 and 9.
Yeah, if 9 was on there, doesn't that have to be a doubler? Because we're adding something non-zero here to a 9. So if that's not 9, then we are cooking with gas.
Well, a follow-up question is: if 8 on that line, would we have to double, or would we be okay at that point?
We could have 1 down. If it depends, if that can be 9 naked, 9 green, a green 9, I think, maybe.
Oh, you just have another 1 8.
Have a 1 here. Yeah.
Okay. So we need to try and.
Here's something though. 3 is the doubler in this box, and it's there.
Yes.
So there is a double 3 here, which means this is the doubler pair in.
Which is a 2?
2 4, yeah, 2 4. And this is 1 7.
And we need a 7 in the middle box, so we'll go on the right-hand side, I guess.
So 7, yes, that's right. So 7 must be opposite 5. And 4 is... Oh, so this is 3, 4, 5 now. Just Sudoku is
there we go, yes.
And these are 8, 7, 6. And 1... Depending on where the 3 goes is where the 6 is opposite, obviously. This square is a 5 by Sudoku now from the 2, 4 pair.
Oh, yes. Nicely spotted.
That's 2.
You've also actually... I'm pointing at the screen as if you can see. Box 8, you've got 1s on the left-hand side, which will knock your 1s out and force an 8, 9 pair over there.
Oh, lovely.
Which is really important.
Yeah, that is going to be very important. So I think this has to be doubled now. It has to be doubled, because 9 plus 1, say, is 10. So that is doubled. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely doubled. So this is not doubled, so that's not the 3. So this isn't the 6.
Can I ask just a silly question? Like, just something I didn't follow. Why can't the other side of the zipper be an 8, 9?
It could be, but this...
Oh, then it'd be huge. Yes, of course.
It'd be enormous, yeah.
Yes, yeah. And an odd number, which wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, it would be tricky. It would be...
Well, it would either be an odd number, or the totals wouldn't be the same, right? Because it would be 17, which you can't make with a double. Okay, that's fine. I'm back on track.
So that digit is quite interesting, I think. It's big, obviously, because it's got to be worth at least 10, because the 9 plus a minimum of 1 is 10. But it can't actually be 5. I'm just going to put in all the options, and let's just... Have we had any of these? We've had 6. 6 is on my list. So yes. It is 5, 7, 8 or 9. But I don't think... Well, it definitely can't be 5.
Because it would have to... Yeah, because it can't get a 2 on the line.
Perfect, yeah, agreed.
Yeah. So 7 would be 14. So it would have to go with a 6 and another 7. No, another 6 and a 5. So that's fine, isn't it?
I think that's what it might have to be. Because whether this is... If that was 8 or 9, then some pair on the line is going to be double 8 or double 9. So imagine this is 8 and this is 8. What's this digit? It's got to be 8, hasn't it? Because the 8 is... I follow that. Yeah. So I think this is 7, which makes this exactly what you said. That's a 5, 6 pair to get us to our 14. This is 8. This is 4. So these are not 4. These are not 8. And 7 has appeared in our coterie of... Oh, and now we can do loads of greenification. Here we go.
Oh, and we haven't quite greenified that top left zipper, tragically.
Oh, no, nearly, though. I
don't know if that'd be useful or not. I'm trying to see if any of the totals are restricted by what we've got in Sudoku, but not really.
I've got a horrible Sudoku point. Mark would have got this instantly. Row 4, I think there's something going on. These 2 digits in row 4.
In row 4?
Yeah.
Oh, right, of course, yes.
I don't know what it means. I can just see they've both got to be plain vanilla on this zipper thingy here.
And 5 would be useful, again, if that's still possible. In the middle, is what I mean, as a total.
Yeah, I don't think 5 can be in the middle, because then 6 will be on a wing.
Oh, you're absolutely right, aren't you?
Yeah, it's quite. But also we can't put. It's weird. You can't put 5 and 6 in the wings because they add up to 11, and there's no way we're writing 11 into that. So I think that has to be 6.
Yeah,
which is
gives you a
lovely.
5-1 pair around the outside.
So this.
And then we've got a 2-3-9 at the moment. But
Go on, say it. I think what you were going to say is going to be correct.
I don't think it is because I have a thing I keep having to stop myself doing, which is adding up the two things in the same side.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, you have to take obviously it has to be a 3 there because 2 and 9 add up to 11. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, but I still think this is worth considering because this digit is not a doubler.
Yeah, so it's not.
So it's not worth more than 9.
So you're going to push the 9 into the center of that row instead.
I perfectly agree. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, my brain, that doesn't add up to 5 because those are the same size.
Yeah. So if that was, it's not. Okay, it's at least 4. I think that is fair, isn't it? Because 3 is on its zipper, but it's not 5 or 6, so it's got a few options actually.
And it's just yes, that's fine. I was trying to see what we had in row 2 to see if we were eliminating by what the 2 and the 3 would have to pair with.
Yeah, I think that is
because actually
that is valid. I think it's a good idea.
So am I right in thinking it can't be 9?
Yeah, I agree.
Because the 2 would have to pair with the 7, right?
I think it would, yeah. And there's no doubler way of getting out of that. So I agree with you. That's come
down a little bit.
Every little helps. Yeah. Keep going. Think about other digits here. There's more. There's definitely one other digit we can get rid of, I think.
So, oh yes, you're right. There's a 2 in that column already.
There's a 2, yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. That wasn't even one. That's so weird. That wasn't even what I was looking at.
Were you doing a classically going off in convoluted logic while there was a 2?
Sorry, I actually was.
Very same.
What I was doing was I was thinking this can't be 8 because that would have to be 5 or 6.
Right.
And I was like, I didn't even see that we'd already got this 2. Sorry. Okay. So, whoopsie. So
I think that's sometimes useful. If you can logically do something in 2 different ways, then you feel pretty confident about it.
Oh, okay. Well, so we don't. Hang on. So if this was 4, this would have to be a 1, wouldn't it?
Yes, and which is still allowed so far.
2. And if that was 7, that would be 5. That would be 4, but could it be? It couldn't be double 2 actually, because double 2. I'm sure I've got it on my list. I don't know where it is, but we've had it. We've had it here. So 4 is in those 2 squares, is what I'm seeing there. It's either
and those are not doubled. That is not
good.
doubled.
Yeah, so very good. Very good.
Keep track of that.
Yeah. So the doubler in this column is one of those 3 cells, and it is 1, 5, 8, or 9. Ooh. Oh, it's not 5. 1, 8, or 9.
Oh yeah, of course it's not.
So if that was a doubler, it would be an 8 or a 9.
My eyes were wandering up. I was just trying to see if we could still have a double 8 in the last zipper, and I think we still can. So, but
this one.
I was just trying to think if we had to keep the 8 off a zipper, but I think that one still can be because we still can have.
Can we do the 6 zipper? These have to add up to 6, don't they? Does that have to be 2, 4?
I think it does, doesn't it?
I think it
we
does.
Can't. Have we?
I don't think there's any jiggery pokery ways of doing it if they're given the doublers. We've got 1 as a potential doubler, but obviously not in these
we couldn't
squares.
Use it, yeah.
So if this so if that's 2, 4, this is a 1. That's a 2.
And we're squeezing the doubler in that sixth box, possibly onto the zipper total.
Oh yeah, good idea.
I
So
mean, we're not quite there yet, but
what
it
are
is getting quite constricted.
3, 7, 8, 9, which might be good.
So
Ooh,
I don't think you can have a 3 in the total. I think you
look here. That is a 1-4 pair, I think.
Yeah, that's right. Bar. What we've got left? Quite a lot. Yeah.
8, 9, 3, 7. Let me just have a look at so 3, 5, 6, 7. That does make sense? 6.
Yes. Have we got what you would call a chocolate teapot?
Yeah. Yes.
I take a slight umbrage with that phrasing because I always consider that kind of pattern a bit of a house of cards because when you get one, the whole lot collapses, and I think it's not too bad a position to be in.
Oh yes, I meant to pull you up on this actually. I was watching one of your videos, and you said something like, and this means we're having too much of a good thing, a bit like chocolate cake, and that was your example. You could have too much chocolate cake. I was like, no, no.
I'm so sorry. Sacrilegious statement. Okay, so these three boxes are pretty good. We're quite constrained. I feel pretty confident we can't have 3 in that right hand side zipper total. I think you're going to struggle even if it's a doubler.
3 has doubled already. What are the digits we've got to left to double? 1, 5, 8, 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
this is great. You're right, because now that cell 3, 7, that cannot double. We've had the doublers of 3 and 7. So the doubler is there. I don't know where, but it is there.
Does it have to be? I don't think we're going to get away with it not being the total. The center. Because it can't be 3.
If it's 3, it can't be 3 doubled. You're quite right. Yeah, very good, very good. Yeah. So this is doubler,
and that can't
be 3. Yeah, and it can't be 7. So this is doubled 8. It can't be doubled 9. There's no way because those would both have to be 9. So that must be doubled 8, 16. So these are 7.
That only has one total.
Yeah.
And that's good. Okay, so that did force the 8 onto that double. I did wonder if that was going to happen.
Yeah, that's lovely. So that means we can add 8 to our list of good digits, and we're left with 1, 5, and 9. A very Sudoku-y collection.
And that top right box has also got a doubler in the sort of middle too.
Yeah, good point. Lovely. So
and the doubler in the center box is now. You can locate that.
Yeah, lovely as well. So that means that was 3, wasn't it?
3 with a 6.
5. Oops. Okay. So that's a 7. That's lovely. Right. So that's 9. That's 7 by maths.
And then a 3 next to it. Yeah.
5, 6.
It's all flowing nicely now.
Yeah.
I know you shouldn't say that, but
no, tempting fate. But that does feel like it's an enormous. Actually, those are both green. Don't do Sudoku on these. This is my.
Well, okay. So, I mean, right, the pair next to it, where the doubler can go, can only be 159, which is.
The doubler can be. If the doubler was there, it would have to
you're
be
right.
5.
You're right, because they're not.
Yeah, the doubler was there. It would have to be 1 or 5. There's definitely no 9 doubler here. So the 9 doubler is either there. Oh, see, there's no zippers up there. That's so mean. Or it could be down here. In which case, it couldn't be on the zipper.
A thing,
yeah.
I think we're going to have a sort of series of perpendicular kind of wonky X-wings on doublers left.
Yeah. 7 is in one of those two squares.
Okay.
Can we do any... Oh, yeah, 7 is here. 7 is there.
Oh, yes.
1.
I'm thinking about what's left in row 8 in terms of especially what can go on that zip total. Well,
yeah, that's a good idea. What do we need? 1, 3, 5, 7.
Yeah.
And 7 is not there.
Oh, okay. And 1 is not
that's it. You've
total.
done it. You've done it. Where's 7 in the row?
Yeah, it's there.
Beautiful. Okay, so that's 7. Oh, nearly. So 7 is... Oh, whoopsie. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to put 7 as a corner pencil mark.
Okay, so 7 could be, if we just ignore doublers for now, even though we probably won't. 1, 6. It can't be 2, 5. Can't be 3, 4 straight because you've got. Oh no, it could be because it'll be the opposite side. I'm thinking in my head too much. I was thinking of the 3, 5 in the next box, but
1, 7, 8, 9. This digit is tricky, actually.
Yeah.
Because in the column there is a 4 on this domino in one of the cells. So this square I think can only be 1, 8 or 9, and because it could be double 1. It's 1. It's definitely 1. It can't be 8 or 9. Otherwise this would be negative.
That's true. But that while you said the 2 4s in box 1 where they are is forcing. No, it's not. Is it? No, it's not. Okay, lie. I was going to say it forces it into the left-hand side of box 7, but it doesn't because you haven't established the 4 in there. I was going to say, and that's helpful, but it's not. It's not helpful at all.
No, but I think it's good now because we've got 1 here. So this is 4 definitely.
Yes.
So that's 7 definitely, and that's 5 definitely, and that's 2. I don't know where that. Oh, that 2 is correct. That's Sudoku. Outrageous.
I didn't come here to do Sudoku.
No, I'm so sorry. What can I say? 1 is in one of those squares. So this is 1, 4 is resolved. 4 is in one of those. Oh, the 5 does the 3.
Okay, in which case, well, we could have done this anyway because we know the 3's already been doubled, but the other side of the 7 zipper is resolved because you've got the 1.
I thought that could be doubled.
That's a good point because we don't have the 1. Okay, so it's either a 6, which it can be, or a
5. That's
which it can be. That's annoying, isn't it?
It is very annoying. 1, 5, and 9 to double.
Okay.
Oh,
three boxes to do them in.
I thought I was about to announce that cell couldn't be the doubler but then I realised it could be 5. If that's the doubler, it has to be 1. Because that sees 5 and 9. 9 is. I think it might be the doubled 9. We don't know. That's definitely normal, isn't it? Actually, that's got to be normal. But this one could be doubled.
Yeah. And the one next to it could be doubled, and we just hide it away from the zippers entirely.
7 here. That means this is 7.
Is that 1, 2, 3, 4? That's all. That's all the 7s.
So it is, yeah. Okay, which other digit can we do work with this magic? Oh, 4. Sorry, there's a 4. We can do the 4 and the 2.
When I said I was doing this to my friend, I was like, at least I know I'm good at scanning. If I can contribute to this, at least I can contribute to scanning. And I failed you on that front.
No, you are. This is very helpful. 5. That doesn't help us with the doubler. 5 in this box is there actually. hang on.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's good. That's good. So 5 goes here. 1, 5, 1.
And we know the doubler in that box is a 5 or a 1.
Oh, yeah, well done. That's it. This square now can't be 1 apparently because of this.
Oh yeah, you've done it. Yes.
So that's a real square, and that's a doubler, and that's not. I think we might have to just remember now, because this is getting so. I'm so tempted to do Sudoku on it all the time, and it's not. 1 and 9. We just have to remember that 1 and 9 are the thingies over. Oh,
I mean, they're on the screen, aren't they? Oh yeah.
So if that. Oh well, that is the doubler. Sorry, yeah. By Sudoku on doublers, that's the doubler. So that's 1 or 9.
Forgot to do Sudoku on doublers. Classic error.
So this is not doubler. Oh no.
The doubler is down the middle, and we still haven't resolved which number it is yet.
So it's either 9 doubled there, or 1 doubled.
Or 1 doubled there. Yeah. It's...
Okay.
Right. What are we missing?
I have not. This column maybe 2, 3, 8. No, that's 2 or 8. 2, 3, 8.
And then what's left in box 9? Any? 4, 6. No. 4, 6, 9. That's not very useful either. No, not 4, 6, 9.
Yeah, 2, 3, 6, 8, 9. I think 2 and no, that could be 2, 3. What about? No, I don't know actually. I haven't got anything at the moment. What about this column?
No, that's not a 7. I mean, you've already resolved 7 in the top box. But there's only 2 numbers left in that row, which is one of them is 9, which might be the doubler, and the other one is
here 9, 8.
8.
Yeah.
Again, that would be useful if it connected with anything else.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's not. It must just be. It's going to be some naughty Sudoku. 1, 6, 8, 9. 1, 6, 8, 9. Is anything useful there? 6, 8, 9. Both of those can't be 1. Can we get 1 in this? No, we can't get 1 in the column. 2, 3, 6, 9. That square is 3 or 9, I think.
I feel like we're missing something that's like just staring us in the face.
Yes, I totally agree.
Knocking the whole thing over.
But it's quite good actually, because I think, when we have a guest on, you you do suddenly realise how it gets to you, doesn't it? You sort of start to think, oh, why can't I see? Why can't I see? Or at least that still happens to me.
No pressure.
4, 6, 8, 9. 4, 6.
Oh, no. Oh, it's very close, but no. I was looking at row 7 and thought the 2 is very restrictive, but it can still be in 2 places.
Oh, that's interesting. So if this was the 2, it's the doubler, isn't it? So then we'd have doubled 1 and doubled 9 here, and that would resolve. If the 2 is there, that's doubled 4. And if you have doubled 4, then that's a 4. That is if that's. Oh no, it's not doubled 4. It's just ordinary 4. Oh, Bobbin. So that would be
it's double 2.
That would be double 2.
There is going to be some kind of cascade effect, though. Yeah. So if in box 8 the doubler is the high of those 2, it pushes the doubler down onto the 1, and then that starts causing that.
Yeah, so I can see something, but it's not straightforward. I think it's which way round is it? It's not possible for this to be a 4. And the way I'm seeing that is that if this is 4, this is double 2. So this square is the doubler in box 7 and is 9. So we've got 4 here and 9 here. But because this is a natural 1, that's a 6. So we've now got 4, 6, 9. This is 8. And I've not got enough space in this row for 2, 3 and 5 to fit in. There's just nowhere to put them.
Oh yeah, you're right. In fact, yeah,
there might be a
third square along can't be any of them.
Oh, that one. Oh,
yeah, maybe that's very restricted.
4. Hang on, yeah. Let's just pencil mark that. 4, 6, 8, 9. Yes. Okay. You're right. That just gets wiped out. That can't be anything. So if this is 4. Yeah, you can see it in 2 ways. Either you say, okay, 2, 3 and 5 can't appear in the row. There's not enough space. Or this square simply breaks, because if that's 4, that's 9, that's 6, and these 2 squares both have to be 8.
Yes.
That's quite complicated, though. It might well be something a lot easier than that.
I'm sure the comments will tell us.
Yeah, okay, all right. Should we go with that? I think we saw it. We didn't, we didn't sort of have to chain it. We just. What do you think?
Yeah. So I think I agree with that, and that putting a 4 in that just wipes out too many numbers. So that's and then we know where the doublers are.
So this, so this the 1 is the doubler now. And that means that one is the double 9.
9.
Which puts 1, 1, 9, 8, 8.
You can do the other end of the zipper when you've finished Sudokuing.
Yeah, lovely. So that's 5. That's 5, that's 3. That's 3, that's 8. It's all lovely. This is 9.
There's an 8-9 pair in box 4 that's resolved by the doubler above.
Oh yeah, lovely. 9, 8, 4. This column needs what? 8 and 6, is it?
So the 8's at the bottom,
6, 8, 9. What do we get in the corner? No 3, unfortunately.
But we will. I can see a 3 in the corner coming.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. We sing it together. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in
That's 3 in the spotlight.
Losing its religion. Oh, that's great.
Very well synced. Well done.
Yeah. And then.
Yep, and 3, a 3 there.
6, and something 9.
At the moment of truth, does that look fine? We've got all of the numbers in red squares.
Let's see. Yay! Yay! Fantastic. That was epic. Very well done. Very well done, Stuart. That's a lovely puzzle, isn't it? It was very, very clever.
It was. It's very neat. And I felt satisfied that we unpicked some of the logic.
Yes, I don't think we were disgracefully bad, and it was a very welcome return for 2/10. Welcome back, my friend. And that's another Sudoku dusted off.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
I should get back to practicing so I can become better on my own terms. But that was fun. It's not. I do prefer doing them with someone. I will say.
So do I. It feels like I've got more of a safety net.
Yeah, and you can bounce off each other a little bit.
Yeah.
I hope people found that fun as well.
Yeah, well, it's a great treat for me, and thank you again for coming and agreeing to do it. I do know it must be daunting. It must be, because I try and imagine myself going onto somebody else's channel to do whatever they were supposedly reasonably well practiced at, and it was I know I would be daunted. but you did brilliantly, and we solved the puzzle. So thank you very much for doing that.
That is true. We did finish it, which is the
we
important
did,
thing.
which is the
It
goal.
hasn't been consigned to
Yeah.
the dustbin.
Yeah.
How many videos end up not being completed for one reason or another? It must be quite rare.
It is quite rare. It happens more often than it used to. Like sort of 4 years ago, it almost never happened. Whereas now, probably at the moment, once every couple of weeks, I guess.
Yeah, really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
but
that's always
you get a lot of complicated ones now, don't you?
Yeah, and that's always a disastrous day, because normally if you fail on one, it's not a quick fail. It's sort of an hour and a quarter, an hour and a half. You just haven't been able to do anything for ages, and you have to stop. And so then you have to go and find another puzzle to do and start the whole process again. And yeah, it's very painful. Very painful.
Well, I'm glad it doesn't happen too often. I do sometimes enjoy watching your videos when I can see the lighting darken as the Sudoku gets completed.
Brilliant. Well, let us know in the comments how you got on. We enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.